Why don't you do Christmas? I'll have to get around to it at some point. Eventually. Restart. That's all we can do. Alright, dude. Thanks for the host. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your sleep. Oh, crikey. I need to take a picture of this real quick. My phone. Only way to really keep these numbers I have to enter in. Hey, look, I got one of the numbers right. And now we wait for two very long cutscenes, unfortunately. And a waiting section. Also, if you're seeing this glitch, this is because I'm using a experimental version of ScumVM. It's the primary emulator for. It's a very good emulator for running these DOS games. It's a nice alternative to DOSBox, which has a couple of quirks that I'm not particularly fond of. Unfortunately, with this experimental build comes this sort of visual glitch right here. Everything is like you're looking blinds. Seems to only happen about 55% of the time on average. So just gotta wait through this cutscene right here. The dating connection. Larry gets lucky and gets a cruise ship date with a lovely bachelorette over there. Since Larry is Larry, that never pans out right. Truth is, he's actually here to do a sort of like Price is Right game, where he has to spin a big wheel and get a prize. You know, haphazardly ends up in here, which is pretty much how this whole hijinks one thing after another. Now, Larry is Lucky Larry. Lucky in life, not lucky in love. Now that guy dismisses us. We gotta sit down. And right over here. Yeah, lucky lottery. Anyone that has ever watched any of these Sierra games be played, they would know that waiting is just kind of a part of it. Some of these games have very minor waits, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Some of them are ridiculous, like King's Quest 3 in particular. One section you have to wait on a boat for 15 minutes. Real time, I should mind you. Real time. Always real time. Speedrunning that is about as fun as you expect it to be. Especially in the type of gameplay that you have in between. Yeah, speedruns in this really require an amount of patience. Anyways, now that we have $1 million a year for life, we're gonna go buy some modestly priced things over here in LA, or whatever the hell they call it. Game. Those are half off, but they're still $100,000. Anyone who has ever bought anything from a boardwalk department store or something understand this. It's silly. That no. Convenience store, liquor store, whichever it's be called. Get this big old gigantic cup of pop. Takes a little while to fill up. It's also important that when you buy stuff, you have to pay for it. Otherwise, bad things generally happen. Since we're going on a boat, we need a thing of suntan lotion. Also, every single one of these store clerks sasses Larry in one way or another. Larry is, 40-year-old balding man. Desperately wants to try to find the miracle cure for his baldness, so he feel young again. Which is kind of his whole goal. After 40 years of doing nothing, he just decided, you know what? Okay. Live life. First game. Fun is about. That's his imagination, right? Dog pisses on him. Happens in or the sequence take a fair amount of time. I'm not looking at the timer directly, so I couldn't tell you right off the bat. Maybe eventually, since I keep running this. Gotta get our passport, which our quote-unquote ex-girlfriend threw into the trash can. I'm running the 100% category. I have to get every point. This is probably the most heinous point that you have to try and get. There's a little jogger that shows up there. You need to wait for them to show up so you can get a couple points. Don't, you're screwed. There's nothing denoting that. Nothing. You literally just have to idle on that screen for what is it, like 15 or 10 or 15 seconds. Then when they show up, there you go. Anyways, the story of this game follows that Larry just gets lucky, gets them to go on a thing for a boat, and haphazardly comes across this music store over here that seems a bit off, and he goes in there and talks to this lady in really broken Spanish. Type C. Anyways, comes off with this instrument called an onklunk. Inside holds a secret microfiche or microfilm. This evil doctor on an island wall, and the guy that just went into the music store after Larry came out, who ironically looked exactly like him, because of course he would. This happens to be the guy that she was supposed to give the onklunk to. Fortunately, Larry got it. Or should I say fortunately? The whole thing is a big play on the James Bond movie, Doctor No. Here we are on the boat, and in here is supposed to be the lovely bachelorette, and instead she sent her mom. Mom's a very scary lady. Anyways, we're gonna go get a tan. Because, I mean, we're out on a cruise ship, we may as well. Gotta wear lotion before you go and swim and do all that. So apparently this game thinks that a job is apparently it thinks the job is, or a bra is a job. There's a lot of weird words that are alternatives in SCI games and other such Sierra games. I think this is enough, but just to be safe. Oh, nope, 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 nope. It was not long. I don't know how long I need to stay here. But hopefully not much longer. There we go. God, I could just say where job. Another little RNG section right here with Mama's room. Supposed to go inside here and steal her sewing kit. Some points, but there's a 60% chance that she'll show up and kill me. So if I go too close to that room over there as well, kill me as well. And there's a weird glitch in this emulator where for some reason the sound dampens. It's really quiet, so that happens. So since the trip isn't exactly how Barry imagined it would be, he wants to get off this boat before he gets killed by Mama. What you gotta do is come here to the bar, get a thing of spinach dip for some strange reason. Essentially a worthless item. And the thing he tugged in the captain's quarters was like a standstill that he could get off. That's good. So they were doing a test thing for the lifeboats, and Larry jumped in, got away from the boat. Now he's lost at sea, unfortunately. Very sad. I'm also thinking that would be a really good emote. But I'm gonna get a picture of this. Feels Larry Man or something like that. Could end up with 190 points at the end of this. Yep. This goes to 11 days. It washes up on shore. Fortunately, an inhabited island. It's also a tourist attraction. Anyways, supposed to do here is there's KGB agents on our way to an airport, so we can kind of keep traveling around. And if they see Larry, they're gonna kill him, obviously. So the idea is for Larry to disguise himself, which is what we're gonna go do right now. By going to one of, I think it's 3 areas that aren't the beach. Here is a very ritzy titsy tourist attraction restaurant where Larry comes in by himself, talks to the maitre d', who's a complete snot, and tells him to sit down while all the people that have appointment, or not appointment, reservations come in. All seated, and they just all happen to be fucking clones of themselves, of each other. As most rich people seem to. They also have really appropriate names like Mr. Rich, Mr. Famous, etc., etc. Of course, Larry, being the very esteemed person that he is, he gets a great seat that's right by the kitchen. In previous versions of the game, you had to wait through that section right there. Pretty much just plays over and over and over again. We had to keep escaping this. You just get slowly faster. Now Larry's trying yet another try at another attempt at getting hair, and it works, but it unfortunately turns blonde. That's one step of it, though. It's actually supposed to be a bikini bottom down there, but for some reason it doesn't show up. Alright, we're slowly getting our whole disguise together, which is for us to dress like a woman. Now it may seem like he's perfect now, you know, he's got a bikini on, he's got long blonde hair, got his money in his bikini top, so it looks like he has boobs. Just unfortunately, one thing that's kind of invisible to us is all the hair on his body. You know, he's a man, probably doesn't keep himself all that well kempt, etc. That he needed a full body wax. This fine gentleman provided for him. Now we're completely disguised. They'll know that because they start hooping at and hollering at you. But this next section is absolute bullshit. You have to essentially navigate this. Every time you screw up, well, it does that. But it's not that bad. Just potentially lose a lot of time in a speed run doing this. We had to change out of that. Had to change out of our bikini here because they actually caught wind that he was in disguise, so they had to he has to be in his suit instead, since they're looking for a bald, black-haired man. I didn't notice that the guy that's also in a leisure suit with blonde hair was in that. Anyways, you go in here, you see Roselia, you sit down, tell her to cut your hair, and she says, "Don't come in here with the blonde hair, that's better than mine." So she cuts off all your hair. Sweet woman that she is. Anyways, as there's so many people over there trying to get tickets, we had to sit here and talk to the customs guy, the baggage handler. So you can check all of our stuff in before we get out of here. Now we're just going to sit here at the baggage line for no reason, really. Waiting for a package. There's going to be one that we need to pick up. This is it. This happens to contain a bomb. Larry, of course, keeps screaming that there's a bomb in the bag. Everyone just 100% ignores him. Instead, he runs over there and explodes. But you know, this is only a simulation of real life. Larry's alright. He just got the cartoon-esque food all over his body. But the explosion happened to scare away two of the ticket, I don't know what the hell they call themselves. And all the other people. The ticket masters, there we go, that's what we call them. Now you have to answer the 301 fucking questions about how you want to do your, how you want your flight to be. Since you talked to this guy before, you had to show him your passport again. You saw it. Since there's going to be a long flight, we may as well get some food. And since, you know, can't trust that food for shit, there's definitely going to be something in there, especially when the woman has been messing with her hair. Bobby pin fell out, landed in your food, and you would have choked. I also realize I'm doing something I shouldn't be. I hopefully don't have bad effect later on. I also slowed the game down here because if you keep it off, there's a time limit of when you enter the airport that your plane will fly away without you. And it's tied to the game speed, so if the game's going too fast, you're fucked. You have to slow the game down. Fortunately, if you're aware of that, you can avoid it entirely. It is an unfortunate time loss, but there's not much we can do about it. There's nothing that I know. You also had to get a parachute because, you know, you need some flight insurance. I don't know what'll happen. Anyways, that's an asshole. You give him your pamphlet you got from the previous screen. Or, and that's that. And I need to skip to. Oops. Oh, oops. And left crawl. There's a snake right here that can kill me. I'm not careful enough. That he used the stick from the previous screen to bar his jaw. There's a track right here I have to follow. It's marked by this lighter colored mud. And oops. I knew that was going to fucking kill me eventually, and it just chose the perfect screen to do it too. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm glad that I'm doing this. I have to save it right here at the end. Oh. There's nothing important over here on the beach. There's just a topless chick. Topless native chick, you know, no big deal. She's also really hot. Anyways, this is another cutscene of it's love at first sight, fall in love. She says, "Oh, our our poor island is under the siege of under the control of the evil Doctor No Nuke. Kidnapped all of our women, brought him up to his place up on the side of the volcano, and the volcano is going to erupt if he does anything." Blah blah blah. There he says, "I'll help you." She's like, "Great, talk to my dad." Dad is Ken Williams, Roberta Williams' husband. And so he says, "In order to marry my daughter, you prove that your real man was a real man. Build an OS." And it's and the screen's glitched again. That's wonderful. Anyways, what we have to do now is get some ash and some sand. Sand is not necessarily important, but it is for 100% category. Hey, that 1 pixel off. Yes. Anyways, there's this ice thing in front of there because of all the refrigeration that Dr. Nonuki has. So what he does is scare all the people away. Or keep people by doing that. Anyways. It's the exact spot you have to be in this for it to work. Otherwise it just doesn't work or you fall in. That's really helpful. Alright, so it's right there. Or maybe not. Right there, I think. Actually. Fucking A, dude. If you get that wrong, you're fucked. And that's the end of the run. That is a terrible run. Oh boy, that is bad. But whatever, I got it done. You might be thinking, hey, wait, you're not done. You got 470 out of 500. What the hell? Then you get some extra points during this ending right here. It's really not a huge variation between 100%. There's a couple more things you have to pick up. See? I'd say that this scene pretty much explains itself, but women were all under some kind of mind control by Dr. The Larry role. Looney Tunes cartoon. Larry woke up all the women, which made them immediately tear off their tops because they're a woman topless. Should I say they're wearing certain types of they're topless. Pixels, get over it. Woman on the piano actually says she's something Patty, passionate Patty in the latter games. Something Patty in this. Wait, why look for me in the next? Anyways, now we're doing the marriage ritual for this place. Now Larry and Kalalu, which the witch doctor brings him inside of his head, and just happens to be the witch doctor is a barber. Trace the sand turns rabbit hair. Pretty nice looking. Like a guy straight out of the fucking 70s. Now his dream becoming reality. Running around butt naked on this island. Beautiful time. Hiding behind a fern while a volcano erupts. Thinks to nobody and starts freaking plowing it. That's Leisure Suit Larry too. 100%. Okay. What should I do next? Could just straight up say fuck it and do a King's Quest 1 to 7 collections run right now. Tempted. Take me like 3.5 hours, but well, about 3 hours in total. It's not going to be anything optimal though, fortunately. I would like it to be optimal, of course.